Hey, what's up? What's going on? It's your girl, Mary Jane. Please like, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It'd be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. So I would like to thank everyone that liked, subscribe, and share the video and comment. I do appreciate it. I want to say thank you. And let's talk about Growing Up Hip Hop Season 3, Episode 4. We start off with Master P talking to Little One, letting Little One know that he cannot jeopardize Master P or Romeo's new business ventures and also relaunching No Limit. And Little One was like, Kendrick was trying to get close to, Romeo, and he had his fist balled up, and he's trying to get close to you and Romeo because you guys have money. And Master P said, that's none of your business. That's none of your effing business. Let us deal with it. Let us handle it. And so Master P says to Little One, how much you think my bills are? And Little One says, they're more than mine. I remember saying that before to somebody. They more than mine. And so Master P says, don't play with me. How much you think my bills are? And Little One says $10,000. And Master B says, try $1 million a month. I believe he said $1 million a month. Well, you need to cut it. You need to cut it. To me. So anyways, Master P walks away and he is like, I'm not going to let family, foes, or anybody jeopardize what I have and what I'm trying to build, a relaunch. And I don't care. You're not going to jeopardize my son. I don't want you around my son or whatever. If you're not going to respect me or my son and follow the chain of command, you are not welcome. And so Little One apologized. Master P's walking away still yapping. And it looks like security guards are with Master P, or just maybe people in the venue. But why you need security with Little One? Is Little One that dangerous? And so, Master P just said, what you gonna do if somebody's bigger than you? You're gonna go run and get a gun? So we know that's not gonna happen. So moving forward, we get to yoga. And yoga is where Brianna, TT, Egypt, and the hairdresser, I think his name is Brian, I'm not sure, and they are, doing their yoga and all that other stuff. But what happens is TT starts to run the mouth. She starts to run the business. And she goes, I went on a date with Boogie. And so that's when Brianna says, I told you totally not to do that. Why would you do that? And so, TT also says, and you know what? Boogie has another DUI. I totally overheard he has a DUI. And so Brianna goes, I'm totally not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. And then, TT brings up Chris and says, Chris, is effing, Adonis. And, they showed up to Pat's housewarming together, and she looks over to the hairdresser and was like, and he told me that Chris and Adonis are doing the damn thing, and Chris or the hairdresser also told me that Chris and Adonis showed up to a dinner party or something, and he had Chris with him, and then on top of that his wife shows up. So he had 2 dates there, and they're like, oh, and then Egypt is not agreeing with this. She thinks it's wrong, and she doesn't believe Chris is with Adonis, and she also doesn't like the fact that TT is talking about Boogie. It seems like TT came in to stir the pot, and they basically do need somebody to stir the pot because it's really dry. It's like watching dry paint and everything. So, but maybe she could find some better drama. And Bree is like, so she's effing Adonis, and he's a married man, and all this other stuff. And Bree's just co-signing. And then, somehow the conversation goes on to Angela and Vanessa about their fashion show. And, Bree's not going to be attending the fashion show because she don't want to have to slap a bitch or cuss out, Angela. And so, the hairdresser is like, well, wouldn't that be a perfect time for you to talk to Angela? And then so TT and Bree continues to be messy. And TT goes, it's always the nice girls, the preacher's daughters, the therapist's daughters, and all this other stuff. And so Bree was like, yeah, they be dotting around, especially the preacher's daughter. They be dotting around. And And Bree goes, like, how can all of a sudden you be a virgin and then the first time you have sex you end up pregnant? That just doesn't make sense. And so, Egypt goes, it does make sense, that can happen. And so, TT goes, yeah, that can happen. You can't get pregnant on the first time, but I don't believe that was her first time and she got pregnant. Then Bree jumps in and she goes, and she's like, that girl had hips already, so she'd been already having sex because her hips was already spreading. So she's been doing it. Wow, basically what, Bree is saying. And Bree saying it doesn't make sense. Like, you're getting pregnant on your first time and all of a sudden we're supposed to believe this is the first time you had sex and you got pregnant. Oh no. And so Bree doesn't want to hear anything. And so Bree is just like, it's always the preacher's daughters that be dotting around. And so TT co-signs that, and TT was like, you don't get pregnant on the first time. And she didn't get pregnant on the first time, but it is a possibility that she could have, but no, not out of nowhere. How all of a sudden how a virgin gets pregnant. And that's what Bree says. So basically then Bree was like, yeah, you getting pregnant and then you get married. Come on, when is that wedding date supposed to be? When you gonna get married? And all this other stuff. Bree, worry about yourself because you're single, chasing around a guy on a speed date. Hella thirsty. So anyways, TT is like, you're supposed to get married first. And she was like, and then Angela paid for her ring, because I know she brought her ring, because how does her baby daddy get out of jail and all of a sudden makes money and he can buy her ring? So she brought her ring. And I don't mean to be messy, but I'm just gonna be messy because I'm here to stay on this show. So so then Egypt, she's in her confession. She was like, karma is a bitch and it might come sooner or later for TT, so she better watch her back. And she's like shocked that her aunties all in the gossip like this. Well, I also must say, doesn't TT, she look unhealthy skinny as she is. I have nothing wrong with anybody being really, really skinny, but it just doesn't look healthy. I don't know. I could be wrong because I don't know how tall she is or what's the regulated body size and weight for your height, your age, but she looks really, really unhealthy thin. And so they talk about Vanessa's fashion show, and TT, I mean not TT, but what's her name, Bree is not going. She's not going because she's not invited, and no one wants to be that shady and bring her as a plus one. In my opinion, I could be totally wrong. She could really not want to go, but as much as she talks about Angela, I can only imagine that she would like to go there and confront her and say something wrong to her. So anyways, it's so messed up how TT is just spreading Boogie's business around. Like, that's not something that he wanted people to know. So obviously I believe Boogie and TT relationship has gone down the drain, and I wonder if Boogie is going to purchase them grills for TT. We'll see. And Bree doesn't believe TT and Boogie should be together, so we'll see what happens. So anyways, Bree meets up with Boogie and whatever, and she's drinking champagne because she's in her glory, because she's about to spread gossip. And so she tells him, about Chris and Adonis, and supposedly Chris is messing with Adonis, and Boogie's like, yeah, whatever, but get this, Boogie, Adonis is married. And then they both agree that you can't be going around breaking up happy homes, even though if they're already broken up. But Brianna has no facts, no nothing if Chris is messing with Adonis. She's just going about word of mouth and what she heard. She don't have any facts or anything. And I really thought that, Chris and Bree were friends, because they started off the season chilling and talking to each other, whatever. And it seemed like they were friends. I guess they're really not friends. I guess right now Bree's friend is Egypt and TT for the most part, and Boogie. I don't know. So anyways, and so Bree also says, I got to be really real with you. I got to tell you, I heard you got another DUI. And guess who told me? TT told me. And I told you that she wasn't good for you because she's too old for you. She's too mature. And she's going to want a lot more out of you that you can't give. And so, Boogie is like, oh man, TT you running the business, you ear hustling, and you go back and you tell what you heard. So Boogie is like, damn, because now Boogie's backed up in the corner because he knows sooner or later these mouths are going to get back to none other than his father, Damon Dash. And Damon Dash is not going to be too happy about the situation. And so, but Bree failed to say that she said that she wasn't surprised that he got another DUI, but I guess maybe she wasn't surprised. So anyways, we go down that road, and so Bree is just like I think she says that she's gonna be going on a speed dating, and TT setting it up and all that other stuff. Boogie at this point doesn't care. He gives two shits at all. And so we get to, Boogie, he does end up going to talk to Romeo. Romeo gives him advice to go talk to his father and get help. Boogie was like, the lawyer fees are a grip. And so Romeo agrees the lawyer fees can escalate and get really high. So that's why you probably need to go talk to your father, or Boogie get a loan from Romeo. So that's done. And then, Master P and Romeo, they talk. And so Romeo realized that he made a mistake and he's going to apologize to Kendrick via text. And so that story is done. So anyways, we get to the fashion show. Everyone shows up except for Boogie, Romeo, and Bree, and everybody else is there. And so, what's her name? TT talks about her speed dating. She talks about her going on a date with Boogie, and I think she Pep was like, oh, where's Boogie at? And then what's her name? TT was like, oh, well, he couldn't be here today because he couldn't drive because he got another DUI. And guess what? Adonis and Chris are here together. And I heard that, they went to a dinner party together and his wife showed up. It was a 2-for-1. And the hairstylist is laughing. And so is TT. She's being messy. And Pep is like, okay, I brought TT out here to look after my daughter Egypt, but it seems like she done got herself messed up in all the drama and she's being messy. So I don't know what I should do about her. But if Chris is messing with Adonis, oh my God, I'm not saying it's true, but this is not a good look. Pep, I always loved you, but what's up with your wigs? Why? What's up with them wigs, Pep? They like cover your face. Makes your head look like this. Why? I don't know why they trying to make Pep, the legend, look like that. And shit ain't right. So anyways, so TT ends up inviting Deja, or Telly Riley's daughter to, the speed dating. And Chris wants to come because she wants to meet somebody new. Then TT jumps in, was like, are you single? For real, you single? She was like, yeah, I'm single. So the Egypt's in her confessional, see, she's single. She's not messing with Adonis. So now they're going to go to the speed dating. It's so wrong. So anyways, TT shows up to the location when they're going to have the speed dating at. And Bree's already talking about how messy she's going to be. And TT was like, just be professional and messy. Be tactful when you're going to be messy. And she was like, I don't know what that means. So anyways, Daisy rolls up. Bree talks about like, I don't like you. The Cheerio. She says the little Cheerio bitch rolls in. I don't really like her. But it is what it is. And so, Daisy's like, so what's the problem? And she was like, I just don't, am I, and Bree goes, am I allowed not to like people? It's just like, sometimes you like people, sometimes you don't. And right now, I'm not feeling you. I really don't like you. And so, Daisy, she took it with a grain of salt. She was like, okay, whatever. She feels that way, but I ain't gonna trip. I ain't gonna jump out of character because this one over here don't like me. And so, Daisy handled it professionally well, and she handled it where, you know, no one can make her look bad. She wasn't sweating the technique. So anyways, so then Chris walks in, and Chris walks in, and then what's her name, Brianna, immediately goes in like the pit bull that she is and says, hey, are you single? She was like, yeah, I am single. And so Brie was like, well, the word on the street is that you fucking Adonis. And so and Chris goes, no, I'm not fucking Adonis, that's my business partner. And she was like, if you please not talk about that no more. And then, you know, Brie goes, well, maybe you shouldn't be all around town with Adonis and everything, because people think that you guys got something going on, and people saying that you fucking for tracks. And so Bree's just being messy about it. And then, you know, Chris feels like, damn, Bree, you should have just put me to the side and told me this, told me privately, and we could have talked about it. You don't have to address me in front of everybody like this. And so Bree don't care. Bree sipping on her vodka or her gin, whatever the hell she be drinking. She's a little turned up already. And so, and then Bree goes, I thought we was friends. I can say anything I want to you, or whatever we're supposed to talk. That's what's in her confessional. But Bree, you got to learn how to be respectful, because you're always going to be alone. You're going to always find yourself alone. You're going to always find yourself in bad situations, because when you're messy like this and disrespectful, people are going to back away from you, and they're going to cut you out their life easily and quickly. And once they cut you out their life, they won't miss you, because there's nothing to miss if it's all negativity. So anyways, you know, Chris feels hurt about the situation, because she thought her and Bree was building a relationship. Nope, you can't build relationships with fake people. But I must say, at least Bree was being real with her and told her what was going on. She could have did it a more tactful way, a better way. But the girl TT that's setting up, you know, the speed dating the shit, she's the one going around here spreading the rumors. And so is the hairdresser. Bree ain't spreading the rumors. She heard the rumors, but at least she's real enough to tell her, hey, this is what people are saying about you. This is what people think. So maybe you should move another way, because, yo, it's shady out here, and the people that you laughing and smiling with are talking behind your back. But she didn't say it like that, and she could have said it privately. But at least she had enough gall, enough gumption to actually tell this girl that the people that are in her circle are in on a little secret and won't let her in on a secret. So the speed dating starts and everything, and Bree starts to, you know, her first speed dating partner, his name is Greg. She's feeling Greg. She likes Greg, and she wants to stay with him because he is a vegan rapper. When she said vegan rapper, I thought of Quatisha Shopton, because she's supposed to be vegan. So anyways, they talk, and Bree's feeling him, and she doesn't want nobody else to talk to him. So then it's time for the speed dating to be over between her and Greg. And so then Bree meets up with another guy that she's supposed to speed date with, and she goes, you know what, I don't know if it's rude or not, but is it rude if I just walk out on you? Is it rude if I just walk away, you know? And he goes, yeah, it's pretty rude. And she goes, you know what, I promise I'm going to work on myself. I promise. But she said, am I a rude bitch if I leave the table on you, if I walk away? He goes, yes, it pretty much would be. And so she goes, you know what, I promise I'm going to work on myself. And she walks away. She leaves the table, and she goes chase behind Greg. Right now, Greg is speed dating with, you know, Daisy and Chris, and there's another guy there, and she's running to go interrupt. And so, you know, TT's chasing after, you know, Bree to stop her, because Bree right now, she's feeling a little intoxicated. She's feeling herself, so she chased after Greg. And so then, you know, Daisy realized, okay, one of these women want this guy Greg. So she goes, TT, if you want to talk to him, I totally understand. This is all for fun. And so TT was like, not me. And then Bree was like, and then, so then, you know, Daisy was like, well, you're welcome to sit here. And so Bree goes, you know, well, I might not like you, but doesn't mean that I can't learn to like you and get to know you or whatever. And then she pats her on the butt like a football player and sit next to Greg. And we all know Greg probably hit it and quit it. Or Greg didn't even go there with her because she seems too thirsty and too adamant chasing after him, which is kind of embarrassing. Nobody wants somebody that thirsty. But maybe he might stay around thinking that he might be on the episode, because we know when they do speed dating on these reality TV shows, it's all actors. Especially it's that's why when the other actors walked in, it was like, hey man, you here? Yeah, you must have got the audition, you must have got the cue cards or whatever. So you could tell all these guys here are actors and they're just trying to get a spot on the show. It's LA. What do you expect? But TT found one actor, somebody that was auditioning, that she wanted to take home and make mush with. So anyways, that's over. And TT says, so then Chris gets up and leave, and she goes, I hope you ain't fucking that old man. And then Chris goes, I'm not. Like, oh no, I'm leaving. So Chris leaves. So Bree is very disrespectful, and if she was ever trying to build a relationship with Chris, she totally kind of like ruined it and ruined anybody trusting her and sharing information with her. But TT will, because her and TT are cool because they're both messy. So anyways, that was wrong. And then TT gets in her confessional. She was like, with a name like Adonis, like a Greek god, boy, he sure looks like a pit bull. I said something of the matter. I ain't call him a pit bull, though. I just said the image of Adonis that I have in my head, it totally does not match the image of Adonis on this show. But that could be my own flawed imitation or image that I believe in. So anyways, or I see. So anyways, it's just like, so Bree got the vegan wrapper, and she's on her merry way. So the fashion show goes off well. Actually, the clothes that Vanessa and her partner did, the clothes are really nice. It was actually a real decent fashion show. It was a nice fashion show. They had nice pieces and all that other good stuff. And so then we get to the sisters at the end, and the little sister, Darian or whatever, she's really upset with Angela. She feels like Angela did her wrong, mistreated her as a child, ignored her, didn't really want a relationship with her. And, at this point, she's not forgiving Angela anymore, because she said she tried for 8 years and she did everything to try to get her attention and get her sister to like her, but she totally ignored her. So she's not here for the bullshit. And Angela was like, you know what? I messed up. Life has changed. Like, I jumped into my own life. I have a baby. I have a jailbird. I totally disrespect the image that my father has put out here for. And I know I fucked up, but I'm sorry. And I want to make things better. I want to work on it with you guys. And she was like, Vanessa, you haven't even seen your nephew, and he's growing up. And so we know if Vanessa hasn't seen a nephew, really, then we know the little sister haven't seen the nephew. The little sister's done. Angela's pouring her heart out. She's crying, because I feel like Angela knows that she messed up, and she knows that she isolated herself from her family, and she shouldn't have. But we don't know what mental capacity or what Vanessa has been going through, where she could be ashamed of a lot of things, or she could feel like, I just don't want to talk about some things that I have done, and I don't want to face the music. And plus, she probably just grown into her own woman, where she is a mother now, and she possibly was going to be getting married or dating this guy and dealing with that issue, that she really hasn't had time for her sisters. But she should have time for them, because at the end of the day, your sister's always going to be your sisters, and you should make sure they are part of your life, especially with a baby involved. And so Vanessa's trying to work things out, trying to see. Vanessa really doesn't have a beef. She's not holding any grudges, but she know her younger sister Darian and Vanessa really needs some work. So we'll see what happens next episode. And Romeo texts out Kendrick, and Master P still teaching us the game. Peace